Hey everyone, in today's video I want to talk a bit about the Microsoft Surface Pro 8 that I bought recently while I sketched my 1-month-old daughter who is the model today, and she's having hiccups. This video is not the full artist review. I will make a separate detailed review for this hopefully soon. Today I just want to talk about the main things you should know before you buy the Surface Pro 8 for drawing purposes. The app I'll be using for drawing is Concepts, and there is actually a lot I want to talk about in the full artist review. The main thing to note here is the drawing performance of the pen has improved significantly to the point that it can actually compete with the Apple Pencil and the Samsung S Pen. So the drawing performance is now so much better. More specifically, the pen is now more sensitive, more accurate, and it's a huge improvement over the Surface pen that Microsoft was selling for several years. For the Surface Pro 1, 2, 3, up to 7. So with Surface Pro 8, they have switched to this new pen, and it's a huge improvement that I can actually recommend this. When drawing diagonal lines slowly, there is no longer the wobble and the jitter. So that is actually a huge improvement. It's quite difficult to draw my baby on my lap because she is now awake again. Alright, so check out this diagonal line that I'm drawing slowly. Let me just tilt this canvas so that I'm actually drawing a diagonal line. So the line has no wobble, it has no jitter. The pen, it's really accurate this time. Huge improvement. Concepts is a really easy app to use, and this app is available on Android and Windows and on the iPad as well. Okay, my baby is awake. You can probably hear that. The pen has this pretty cool haptic feedback feature where it will vibrate slightly when you are drawing. And as you apply more pressure, the pen would vibrate more to simulate friction. But the thing is, this is still a plastic tape on glass, so the pen tape is still very smooth on the glass. It's not that slippery, but it's definitely quite smooth. So even though you get the illusion of friction, it's not true friction. But in terms of control, I can get good control of the pen on the glass. It just takes some time to get used to how smooth the pen is. But it's not really that slippery, which is the main thing. So I am able to join all the lines without the lines overshooting, so the pen is very accurate. Haptic Feedback unfortunately only works with selected apps, and it works with Concepts. It doesn't work with Clip Studio, Photoshop, and many other apps. Okay, one thing I notice about the touch gesture is sometimes when I double tap, I don't get the undo. It happens occasionally, and it can be noticed that I try to undo, it doesn't happen. So it can be quite irritating when it happens. You have to be very conscious when it comes to double tapping on the display with your two fingers if you want to undo. The downside of this app is there is no fill bucket tool, so to color shapes I have to redraw the shape. If you're looking to buy a tablet to replace your computer, I highly recommend you get the model with 16 gigs of RAM, RAM is not user upgradable, unfortunately, but the SSD is. If you have intention to buy the model with 128 gigs of storage, that may not be enough for professional use because in the real world, you're going to get 112 or 117 gigs of storage, and after you account for Windows 11, you're going to be left with less than 90 or 80 gigs of storage. So definitely get more storage if you can, but that would of course mean that you have to spend more money. As a computer or laptop replacement, this year the Surface Pro 8, it's really good because the pen is really good. The official retail price of the base model, which is $1,099 US, that's the same price as the 12.9-inch iPad Pro and the Samsung Tab S8 Ultra. But in terms of versatility, since this is running Windows 11, it's going to be more versatile compared to the iPad and the Samsung tablet. So if you're looking for a computer replacement, this is probably the better choice. The downside for the Surface Pro 8 is battery life. I would say with auto brightness and typical usage, drawing for example, you can get maybe up to 5 hours of battery life, which is actually not a lot. If you're just web browsing, doing documents, then probably 6 to 7 hours. But it's definitely not, the battery life is definitely not as long compared to what you can find or what you can get from iPads and from the Samsung tablets. Let's draw some bananas for these monkeys. This tablet that I purchased actually has some hardware issues. There is some flickering here and the LCD has some blemishes beneath the glass. So it's quite disappointing to see these effects out of the box. So I will definitely have to send this for servicing because it's actually flickering. Not when the screen is bright like this, but when this part is gray or less bright, then the flickering is very obvious. Microsoft Surface products, more specifically the Surface Pros, have a long history of flickering problems, and Microsoft has fixed that with the Surface Pro 8. It's just that, unfortunately for me, my unit has some flickering here. And I'm glad to report that the auto brightness now works so much better, and the face unlock also works so much better. Those were issues, those were problematic with earlier Surface Pros as well. And now I just need to add some shadows. So this is the completed sketch. I have a lot more to say about the Surface Pro 8, so do subscribe to my YouTube channel and watch out for the full artist review when it's out. Thanks for watching. See you guys again. Bye.